Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and give you my opinion on them, including today, Spectrum's removing some local channels in some markets they consider duplicates. We'll tell you what's happening there, and no, don't be expecting to pay less because of it. The Nickelodeon app and other Paramount-owned streaming apps are shutting down. We'll tell you why, what's happening, and what you need to know about this. And YouTube TV looking to expand to new areas. This and a whole lot more coming up here in a minute. First though, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, and hopefully helping you break free from the high costs of television. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to each story there. So with that said, before we get into the news today, a slight correction on yesterday's story. We talked about YouTube TV offering customizable multi-view, the ability to watch up to 4 sporting events at once. Under the new update, you get a list of different games happening. You can pick those games, and then you get a multi-view of that. Now, Google reached out to follow up with us after confirming, and to give a little more details to explain, they said that while you can pick which games you want, they've already pre-created every possible combination of those NBA games or NHL games, for example, and then they would serve you whatever channel has the ones you picked. Now, that means it's not customizable in the sense that you can pick any channel. You can't, like I said yesterday, you can't pick a news and a sports game. But in that list of all those NBA and the NHL games, they have every possible combination there pre-created. And by telling what games you want, they serve you the channel that you are looking for with that. Slight correction there. Just want to bring it to your attention. All right, let's dive into it. Spectrum cable TV customers are losing locals in Rochester, New York. Now, starting a couple days ago from when you're watching this, and in February, some Spectrum customers around the Rochester area will see multiple local channels shut down on their cable provider. Spectrum's saying these are considered duplicates. They live in a market that's kind of between a few markets, and often that sometimes means you'll get 2 channels. You'll get a your local one plus maybe the big one in a market near you. It's been happening for a very long time for Spectrum customers. And to cut costs, Spectrum has decided to drop these so they don't have to pay those local TV stations for that. With this deal, if you are a Spectrum customer, your bill is not changing, but Spectrum now will get to keep more of it instead of having to turn over a section of that monthly payment to locals that they consider out of market. Now, you'll still have access to NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS. There was a duplicate NBC. You used to get 2 NBCs with that. Now, I live in an area where we get 2 ABCs. I'll be interested to see if Spectrum rolls this out. We talked to Spectrum, and all they said is they can confirm what the changes in Rochester. Though if this is successful, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Spectrum comes and does this in other markets out there. With this, though, this comes after Spectrum has had 2 price hikes in the last year. With this, as they drive up the price of television. Locals are some of the most expensive channels. Some of the most watched channels. They are the most watched channels, but they're also the most expensive. It doesn't surprise me at all that Spectrum is saying, hey, how can we cut costs? We already saw them drop some Disney channels, including FXX, Freeform, and others. Now they're looking, hey, is there other ways? Do we have duplicate markets? Wouldn't be surprised to see this in other areas. If you live in a market hit by this, let me know. All right, speaking of cutting costs, Paramount is cutting costs by shutting down its cable apps for Comedy Central, MTV, Showtime, Paramount Network, along with Nickelodeon. Now, they announced this last month. We got that news out last month that it was coming, but now it's happened. Now, if you open, for example, the Nickelodeon app, even though it still appears in the App Store and still appears on your phone, it now gives you an error message saying, hey, it's been fun. Sadly, we no longer work here. Then they direct you to your pay TV service, either a cable company or something like YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live TV, and others to watch the content there. These network cable apps were from a day and time where most cable companies did not have an app that allowed you to access your content outside your home, and this would allow you to do that. Now, let's be honest, most cable companies do offer these apps. You don't need to have that. If you got Sling, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Comcast, Spectrum, or others, go to their apps to access content. So they're shutting down. I heard you saw people say, well, I see it on my phone, I see it in the App Store. Yes, you do. But if you open it, you'll get a message inside of it saying they'll shut down. I suspect in the next few weeks, we'll see those be removed from the app stores. already confirmed this on Android and iOS. Have not been able to check things like Fire TV. Have you? Leave me a comment, let me know. YouTube TV is looking to expand outside the United States. YouTube TV's been busy growing. The NFL Sunday tickets helped them a lot. There was one catch with that. They were supposed to come to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. They ended up not getting that date. DirecTV is now offering NFL Sunday ticket in those markets because of that. Well, this week during Google's earnings call, Google was asked about, hey, what's your plans to bring YouTube TV to other markets? And YouTube TV's Chief Business Operating Officer said, it's something that we're looking at very closely. There's nothing specific I have to add at this moment in time on this one when asked about moving to new markets. So we've known they wanted to, but it seems like they're still planning on doing that. At some point, to continue the growth of YouTube TV, they're probably going to have to. There's a certain cap on cable and TV services out there. Only so many people will want them. Bring this to Canada, Europe, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and other areas could help them continue to grow YouTube TV, keep their stock customers happy, and dominate, maybe in the same way they've dominated here in the United States. We'll keep a close eye on it, but I know we got a lot of international viewers. If you're out there, some hope that YouTube TV may come to you. All right, we talk a lot about cord cutting 2.0, the idea of canceling cable Airnet, not just cable television, breaking completely free from your cable company and getting Airnet through new providers. One of the biggest ones is 5G home Airnet from AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and others. While a new study from Parks Associates says 66% of 5G home Internet customers are happy with the price. They either rate it good or fair. That's compared to 35% of cable TV customers who talk about the price of their Internet. Now that's a little confusing because the price is a part of a bigger picture. Yeah, I'm happy with the $50 price, but I wouldn't be if it didn't work right. So this is also about I'm happy with that price for the quality of experience I'm getting with it. According though to comparing it to customers with cable internet, only 35% of them say they're happy versus 66% 5G home internet customers. So if you haven't been testing it out, if you've been thinking about it, maybe now's the time to give it a try. Let me know if you've tried it and are you happy with the price versus the quality of service you get with 5G home internet. Google TV is adding full screen ads. Now Fire TV did this last year. We broke that news that when you start a Fire TV now you get a full screen ad on most new current modern Fire TVs in the last 5 or so years. Very annoying. You hit the home button again to get out of it. But now Google TV, specifically for now on Chromecast with Chromecast with Google TV is doing this, where when you start the device you get a full screen ad playing video and audio. Now I suspect that'll come to all Google TV devices. Usually Chromecast with Google TV get it first and then it rolls out to others later. But one more way to make up ad revenue. Ad revenue is the #1 way these devices make money. Often they're sold near cost with the idea that they'll make up money through subscriptions, ads, and other ways later over the years. And now full screen video ads seem to be a big way to do it. Amazon's doing it, Google's doing it. Roku has teased that they may put new ads on the home screen, but still Roku doesn't have many, and Apple is the same way. All right, we've been talking for a while about Paramount possibly being sold. Now the owner of the Weather Channel, Byron, I hope I said that right, my apologies if I did not, has announced a $30 billion offer for Paramount. He reportedly plans to keep the linear channels and sell the studios. With this deal, he would want to keep the Paramount Network, Showtime, CBS, all those, sell off the studios. We'll see exactly what does that mean. Is he selling off just the movie studios? Is he selling off the television? What about CBS Sports, for example, all the sports side of that? We'll have to get the nitty-gritty later. But he's joining a growing number of companies. Now, Byron Allen has made quite a few offers. He's really been trying to buy stuff. He tried to buy BET. He tried to buy ABC from Disney and other ABC or Disney-owned channels, excuse me. So far, nothing has come from that. We'll see very closely with that. All right, next story up. Google says connected TVs make up YouTube's fastest growing audience. So are you watching me on a smart TV? Through a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, wherever. Are you watching me there? My numbers say about 23% of you watch these through a large screen TV. That's pretty cool. I honestly kind of shocked me. I just assumed everybody watched me mostly on their phone or computer. But that number has been increasing, and according to Google, it's their fastest growing market. And I'll be honest, I watch a lot more on YouTube through the big screen than I do a few years ago. My wife and I often crawl in bed and watch a YouTube video together, maybe instead of a full-length television show, because sometimes YouTube videos, we can watch a 20-minute YouTube video, or we have to decide we want to watch an hour-long show. How much time do we have? How tired are we after getting the kids in bed and working all day? Anybody understand that? But I've been watching more and more. Have you? Are you watching more on big screen TVs when it comes to YouTube? That's my question of the day. And lastly, there's an activist investor on Disney who's pushing for some big changes, trying to get control of the board. One of the things he wants to do is see Disney streaming services, primarily ESPN Plus, be bundled with things like Netflix. We're already seeing this. We're seeing bundle deals of different companies' streaming services. Verizon's really heavily doing this. You get Netflix and another service, you get a discounted price. Now he's pushing that Disney do the same. Maybe you get a bundle deal of Disney Plus with something like YouTube TV, Disney Plus bundling with Netflix, ESPN Plus bundling with other services. I think that's the future. I think we'll see more and more of that, but doesn't necessarily mean we'll see Disney do it. They've been bundling their own services, trying to get you to get the Disney Plus bundle with Hulu and ESPN and others. We'll see how it plays out. All right, question of the day. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment down below. I would really appreciate it because I try to answer the questions here at the end of each video. Today's question comes from Neil. Was watching an older Questions for Luke 4 years ago and was asked about PlayStation Vue, Locast, and ATSC 3.0. A few predictions from you with a better than average batting average. So apparently, hey Neil, send me a link, send me an email with a link. I'd love to know how I had a better than average prediction. But he's asking me, put your prediction glasses on again and give me a look 4 years into the future. What will the two biggest changes from today be? I'm assuming you mean with cord cutting, so let's focus on that. Number one, I think we'll continue to see small cable TV companies, but that's kind of an easy one. I'm not even going to count it. Many small cable TV companies will shut down in the next couple years. There's just not enough profit. When I say shut down, I mean shut down their TV service, maybe sell as a whole, just become a phone and internet company kind of deal. But let's look past that. I think the biggest change is actually going to be with Airnet. We're seeing competition in Airnet. I think data caps are going to increasingly become a thing of the past. More and more options for Internet, 5G home internet, Amazon Space, Starlink, new fiber options. It's actually not becoming all that unusual to hear an area with multiple fiber options to somebody's house. Soon, I'm going to have AT&T fiber here, plus a new company's coming down the street promising to offer fiber where we live. So look for that to become more common. Now, with that, I think that's going to be changing a big thing. I mean, let's just talk about 5G home internet, right? I move, I unplug my 5G home internet box, I go to the new house, I plug it in, I have Airnet. Don't need to call the cable company to come out. These satellite internet everywhere. No matter where you are in the world, you can get Airnet through SpaceX, soon to be Amazon also. I think that's very groundbreaking. I don't think we fully appreciate how that could change things, how that could make connected cars work better, how we could, more people living in RVs, working remotely, the ability to do what you want, where you want, as long as you have a line of sight to the sky, we have Airnet. But for television, I think what we're going to see is a growing number of streaming services shut down or merge. There's just too many. Now, I would be interested to see how that's going to look. Who's going to shut down? Who's going to merge? Who's going to make it? Who won't? I don't know. But I'll say this. There are more streaming services today than the market can support. That both includes paid services like Disney Plus and free services like Pluto TV. Not necessarily saying those will fail. Those may be two of the more safe ones on the market. But how long until some of these smaller ones, these niche services, run out of money, especially with a soft ad market? Look for the next 4 years, more bundle deals and more services to bundle up. Will Hulu On Demand move into Disney Plus? Will we see, for example, Sling TV go away? I don't know. They're all predictions, but that's what I think will happen. I think we're getting close to that. I think it's telling me it's time to wrap it up because I've been doing this for over 15 minutes. But let's call it a day. Those are my predictions for 4 years from now. Let me know what your predictions are. More cable companies will shut down. That's an easy one. I predict that internet options become more prevalent, and with more competition, things like data caps will go away. And lastly, I predict that we'll see more streaming services shut down and more streaming services merge, like we saw Showtime merge into Paramount Plus. and Discovery Plus merge into HBO Max to make Max. I think that's going to become more common. That's it for today. Take care. Be safe. I'll be back again real soon.